I might be a little tangled, but I think that's okay. All right.
Pretty much the storyline of my life right there.
Right? Tangled cables.
My buddy owns this company, and I was driving here and stopped at a gas station, and they were selling them. And I'm like,
I know. I saw this on the table. I want to... Cocoa Taps?
Yeah, he was on Shark Tank not that long ago.
What's inside of this?
It's the coconut juice.
Here, we'll put it this way. Product placement.
This is a coconut.
Wow.
Yeah, I could crack it open and there's coconut meat on the inside. Oh. But this little tap, he actually just made them to be made with corn, so they'll be biodegradable. And you twist it into the side of a coconut. You don't even have to have it cut pretty like his is, like a regular coconut.
So you could reuse that?
Yeah.
Oh, usually just be careful because she's right on your microphone.
Oh, shoot.
I just want to make sure I hear all this because I want to get all this. Before we go any further, my name's Alyssa and this is Bad Mom Jokes, and I'm here with my childhood friend, Heather. You can find her on Instagram at HotDishHeather and also at Beach Blanket Bingo. Did you actually get that handle? That I'm dying.
So I started my Instagram like the day it was released. I was in a marketing group and they were like, check out this new app. It's been my favorite movie since I was young. My mom's favorite movie, really. As soon as I put it in, it stuck. And I had no marketing or any branding with Beach Blanket Bingo at all. I just did it for fun. And it worked. And I love that movie. Growing up, I was like...
I have to tell you, Heather, that I also loved that movie. I loved Annette Funicello and Frankie Avalon from the Mickey Mouse Club, of course.
Of course.
And
which I watched every day.
Gidget and like all of that. And I was recently watching the Buster Keaton documentary that came out on a plane. Someone recommended The Great Buster. It's great if anyone wants to check it out. And he's in it. He's the old man on the beach. It's Buster Keaton. And I'm dying because now I have to go back and watch all these movies
the old ones
to watch him now.
So fun. And I was just fascinated
them.
by the surf culture, their fashion, and Beach Blanket Bingo, that game of making out.
Tell us what that game is for anyone that hasn't seen the movies.
I just saw that like they had these big parties at the beach and they'd bring their blankets, and then at whatever time after the bonfire, like everyone goes to your blanket and you just start making out.
But is there a with the bingo, do you like change partners at any point?
That could add some fancy.
Is that am I just adding that?
I added that once or twice. But I don't know if that's like the rules. At least back in the 60s. But I think that was a little bit of like the first peep show.
Right. Because it's public. Everyone's on the beach having fun.
Yeah, and they're all kind of
old
next
man
to
Buster
each other.
Keaton peeking.
But I did go to surf camp when I was 20.
Oh, did you? Okay.
And the rule was no man could come without a woman or girl and guy. So boys couldn't be there without girls. And it was full on Beach Blanket Bingo at...
Wait, rewind. So boys couldn't be... Single.
They could only bring a woman, but girls could come by themselves.
To the party. Mm-hmm. So it was like you only get into the party if you bring a woman.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be your woman.
But you could bring multiple women too.
I'm sure.
But you couldn't be a single dude and go there.
Of course not.
It's like Legoland.
What's a party without women, right? Like, I get that.
And those parties that have all the dudes.
Yeah, no, not fun. Like that where they're just like... Yeah. Guys are so crazy.
So
they can't control
but
the
penis. It was really crazy. And it was you surf all day and start drinking your tequila, and then...
That sounds amazing.
The sun goes down and the blankets come out. Clothes come off. We actually did it was like a full moon. We all did like naked surfing at like midnight.
See, now here's my thing about going into the ocean at night. I find that terrifying.
Yeah, you should.
It's dangerous. You should. Like there might be sharks. We have sharks.
Newsflash.
Yeah.
There are always sharks.
Right, but there's something about not being able to see it coming that makes it a little more terrifying. I feel like when you want to punch it in the nose and you don't know where you're at.
And I feel like full moon makes all things a little bit more crazy. So yeah, but
you can't see.
That added
mystery.
Fun.
Yeah. Oh, I love the full moon.
Oh,
the danger.
I mean,
I'm
trying to get eaten, but that's another story.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I am all about the full moon. Did you recently there was this amazing full moon. It was like the blue moon, right?
Well, the blue moon happens like
when the full moon
once
twice
in a blue
one.
moon. Yeah. But it was wasn't it
it was a special blue moon
one.
recently, right? Yeah. That's what I
So it's special for me because that's the moon when we plant our cannabis.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're a canny mom. Is that what they call it? Cannabis mom.
Cannamom.
So if anyone catching up, marijuana is legal in California. There's this cannabis mom movement that's happening, and I
also reside in Las Vegas.
Right.
Where it's even more legal.
Wait, so in Las Vegas, marijuana is legal, cannabis is legal?
So in Las Vegas, you don't even need a prescription. You can walk into a store and just purchase marijuana.
Okay, and how
long? As long as you're 21 and over.
And has that been that way for a while?
Since last January.
Okay, so
not
they
this year,
passed it around the same time. Got it.
Totally different laws.
So now it's legitimate legally,
right?
Not that it wasn't before.
I have legally been able to smoke and consume cannabis since 2004.
Got it. And so you're a part of this, and I want to hear about it. Yeah. I'm really fascinated by this whole cannabis moms.
So Cannamoms are basically, we're just like every other mom, except that instead of consuming coffee all day or drinking alcohol at night, typically you smoke a joint and
unwind.
And the funny thing I found from, I'm very open about consumption. I believe that there's a lot of healing in psilocybin mushrooms and plant medicine and Ayurveda is as long as you're dosing correctly, there's a reason why it's on earth. That's my belief and my standpoint.
This is a gift from God.
It is, really. Yeah. And so we don't have a lot of research. There's only been a few and I literally out of, instead of like a large sampling of parents or whatever, it's like 70.
She's falling asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
It's usually like,
would she let me hold
her? It'd be like 70
or did she stay with mommy?
People. She's fine. She's out. Oh, gosh.
Here, I'll take
it. I'm sorry, I'm on the mic.
I always do that. No, it's okay. It's okay. I just want to hear
Can you edit that out?
No, it's fine. It adds to it. Oh, baby.
It's usually like,
would she let me hold her?
It'd be like,
stay with mommy.
People. She's fine. She's out. Oh, gosh.
It's a lot of times I get comments like that I, as a host, seem distracted or, wrapped up in something other than my guests. It's not that I'm not completely into you. It's that I'm also the only person behind the camera. So I get really distracted by where the microphone is or the lighting.
That's because you're an amazing director.
Well, it's just one of those things that you're juggling and people don't, people that haven't done production on their own, they don't realize all the different variables.
Yes.
So I want to hear everything you're saying because I find this topic so fascinating as a mom.
So, we have tons of research on alcohol and its effects on humans, on babies. We know that how much a mother can tolerate and also what it can do to an unborn baby.
Sure.
We also know what it can do to adults and our own psyche and our own reactions. There isn't reactions. There isn't overdosing. There isn't the same response with cannabis because we have an endocannabinoid system.
And what does that mean?
So essentially, inside of our body, in every organ, including our skin, we have these little receptors, endocannabinoid receptors. And it's like a lock, and they're all over us on the inside. And the only key that fits that lock comes from the cannabis plant. And so CBD, CBDA, THC, THCA, all these different cannabinoids have different processes that they help the body with. Right now, it's legal to do CBD in all states, but that's only isolating one tiny bit of this plant's properties. And for people that don't know, what's CBD versus smoking a joint? So, and CBD is an isolated cannabinoid, a chemical in the plant that is found both in cannabis with THC and also in hemp. And so industrial hemp is, for centuries, was used to feed our livestock, to help with building. It was what our paper was made of. and it was a very fast renewing resource, and our bodies have always consumed it for hundreds of thousands of years. They have literally found mummies buried with their cannabis. One of the most ancient mummies has cannabis tattooed on her.
Is it?
That was actually from a Nordic. It's all over the world.
Interesting.
So our bodies basically have created this receptor for the plant. Now, cannabinoids can be found in some other plants, in different phenols, different compounds.
Right.
But it's most readily available in cannabis. And that's why we don't have it available, because it fixes all of our problems. So the endocannabinoid system attaches with the cannabinoid, which you can get from ingesting, smoking, eating, rubbing it on your skin. When it hits that receptor, it finds that organ, and it has the ability to process and make that do whatever its function is better. So if it's your liver, it's just going to make your liver flush faster. If it's your metabolism. But the cool thing about the cannabinoids is that they like everything on an even stasis. And they don't like things too hot. They don't like things too cold. They don't like a lot of changes. So they kind of like zone it all up for your entire body. Yeah. From skin to, glaucoma for eyes. It's amazing.
Wow.
And so, we go back to, prohibition and why, and everything just goes back to money and control and or racism. And it's really, it was a way to point out, okay, well, that group of people. So we're, free the plant, free information,
the plant,
and live and let live. And really, it's changed children's lives. It's been proven now in over 40 different independent tests in different countries from Israel and beyond that cannabis cures cancer.
Wow.
So that's my message, is the healing of the
Cannamom,
nation.
it's not just about like we're moms that also, it's not like wine moms that like, oh, we drink wine.
Right.
It's not that they just do cannabis. It's also a movement.
Well, and it's more about healing and health and seeing the difference. So you drink a couple glasses of wine. You're not capable to drive in case of an emergency. Your inhibitions really kind of go down, and you don't make the best decisions. Frequently, you can be charged with anger or some extra emotions that you wouldn't have to even cope with if you were smoking.
It doesn't bring out the best sides at times.
Right.
I'm definitely not a better mom after I've had a drink.
The funny thing is, though, if I smoke,
you're a better mom.
Okay, I won't. Let's just talk about children's books.
Yeah,
because you end up reading them 30 times in a row, right?
Right. I've noticed that.
How boring is it when you're flipping the pages and you're like, "Good night, moon. Good night." All the words, right? Well, if you take a hit and go wash your hands and then come back and read that book, it's all of a sudden exciting and fun, and you can get into these characters and you read with voices and and you're not like, I need another drink, I'm tired. It's like, we're gonna sing opera together.
Yes.
You can get on the ground and you can become friendly again, and you can get into that imaginary state and really connect with your child.
Right.
Whereas alcohol puts a filter.
Right. There's no doubt about it. So now that it's legal, I am definitely, I call it like cannabis tourism, but it's so exciting for me to come back to marijuana because it was something I did a lot in college and enjoyed it thoroughly. And now it's just so amazing to see it all packaged up and like perfect and legal. And for Mother's Day, my husband, who gets me, instead of roses, he got me
the right kind of flowers.
He got me like cannabis like gummies, and they're amazing. Although they're pretty strong. Just one. They said just take one.
I make lozenges.
And wait a couple hours. We took one on a Sunday night. We're like, ooh, that was a mistake. We had to like pack the next day. The whole thing. We're like, But if I do half, it's perfect, and it does. It's a shortcut to your creative mind.
And also,
there's no doubt, I'm so much more patient and creative. Yeah,
from eating it, because your liver processes it,
and it lasts
your liver
longer.
It lets out different cannabinoids than smoking it.
Absolutely.
So you can actually have different types of highs from every different strain, as well as the way you're consuming it.
Yeah.
So we don't consume in front of our children.
Oh, see, I do.
I don't. We don't have any smoke in the house. It's outside.
I go out on my patio,
but we're outside. Yeah, ventilation.
Because how I think about it is,
we do use the salve. I use salve for everything.
What's that? The salve. Is it a product? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I actually have some.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show.
Because so how I approach it, because it is legal, and I don't want there to be fear or questioning from my kids.
Yeah,
so,
I have a book. It's called Kids, It's Just a Plant.
Right, Kids, It's Just a Plant, because I drink a drink in front of them. Right. No issues whatsoever.
Exactly.
They can't drink a drink.
Exactly. It's 21 and over.
So I just say it's for adults. Same with my iced tea, same with anything that I'm just like not wanting them to consume, or it's not legal for them to consume. So
and for me, I worked in wineries for many years. I worked on vineyards. And my kids could come into certain areas, and certain areas they weren't allowed
21
to.
and over.
21 and over. So
just set up the boundary.
I own a grow facility, and we're opening a few more here in California. And again, my children still can't come into the facility. It's 21 and over.
Right.
There's no questions. It's okay. That's what mom does.
My daughter does ask me. She's 4, and she's like, "Mommy, what are you doing?" My son's so into his stuff that he doesn't even notice, but. I said, you know what? It's mommy time. This is for mommy. And I think it's really healthy that I take a break and create space for myself.
Yes. That's also creating, like you're not only setting an example for them to be the same, but you're also allowing, them to understand that they need their personal time too.
Right.
Yeah.
And, now, how do moms deal with the stigma of maybe judgment from other moms that don't do cannabis? Or like, how is that?
This is a big one, yeah.
Because you have older kids, so you've gone through this for a while now.
I have a 10-month-old as my youngest.
My oldest I haven't advertised to moms, say at drop-off, that I'm like on the weekends having a gummy,
when my kids were like 7 or 8, they would be like, and asking questions, just like they do. Mom, are you going to be growing the weed in the backyard? That's a good weed, right? Or that marijuana? And the terminology.
Right in front of another parent.
And whatever. And I'm like,
as kids
they don't know. There's just mom in the garden with the rest of my herbs. But I quickly was like, let's call this medical cannabis. And that way when people hear it, it's not as demeaning as weed.
It doesn't feel like a drug.
Yeah, it just sounds bad. Yeah. So, but they're fully aware of plant medicine. My partner's been growing for over 40 years professionally.
He's a master grower. Is the official term.
Yeah, I lived on a few farms for a few years before I met him. So this has been our passion, and really the passion project came. I mean, we both were always interested in the healing benefits. I have ADHD, and it's way better than any medication I've ever taken for anything. And then his mom developed breast cancer, which went to lymphoma. And that's when his growing turned into extraction. And we started doing concentrates and getting more into that field.
Yeah. So, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the fun side.
Yeah.
As far as Cannamoms go, there hasn't been enough research, but breast milk does contain cannabinoids on its own. So babies are susceptible to receiving cannabinoids if they're eating breast milk without ever consuming cannabis.
Interesting.
So it's something our bodies need.
Right.
And it's just the more research that's coming out, it's showing us that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we could just...
It's really exciting. I could go on and on, but it's not funny stuff.
But okay, so I just want to be clear. This channel, it's called Bad Mom Jokes for a lot of different reasons, but it's not like we're cracking jokes. You know what I mean? And it's so interesting because I had a meeting earlier this week, and I'm pretty sure the woman asking me questions was not a mom. And she's like, you don't seem like a bad mom to me. Like, she wasn't understanding what I was talking about.
I'm not a bad mom.
Of course I'm not a bad mom. My daughter has type 1 diabetes. I'm her full-time nurse. I don't even sleep.
Yeah.
It's not that we're bad moms. It's that we're challenging this age-old myth of the good mom.
Right.
And saying, fuck you.
Yeah. I can wear eyeliner if I want to.
Yeah. I can, smoke cannabis if I want to. And it's a play on words.
Well, and the whole thing is, I have an ex-husband who's married, and they have children, and she is one of those kind of more, conservative parents.
Oh, interesting.
And so even when it comes to spirituality or anything, you know, when you're raising children with another human raising your children that you didn't set out to raise with, you have conflicting ideas, ideals, and what's, you know, how to do so.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is I just like to give enough power where knowledge is power, and that they're smart enough and strong enough to make their own decisions, and that they don't, you know, rely on other people to tell them what's good, what's not good, because they'll be smart enough to do the research or figure it out or ask the right people.
Right.
You know?
And your kids are amazing. Like you have
like literally
Hazel
they're
here.
Like the president's list.
Yeah. No, I mean,
roll.
You've clearly raised
really
such
great
amazing
kids.
Citizens and people, and I mean, I really
it
admire
does
you for
help.
that. Yeah,
I mean,
because
you know, I do give a lot of credit to my ex-husband and his wife because they have maintained every financial need that you know, if it's the $3,000 volleyball camp done, you know, and so they've been in swimming, water polo, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, stand-up bass, piano, violin, choir, private lessons, drama. So
in fact, you're going tonight. The reason you're in town is for a choir for
and
your
last
son.
night as well. My son's was last night. My daughter's is tonight. Yeah.
And I'm so excited because Heather's in Las Vegas, and we're constantly, you know, sending messages back and forth. I'm like, girl, I got to get you on Bad Mom Jokes. Yes. I've been wanting to do this forever. And here you are.
I know.
And you know,
I'm thinking that sometime we should go on Instagram and just go live. And
you're going to have to guide me through that. I have to say, I love Instagram for like posting photos and all of that, but all of the video aspects, I have not really loved the way that Instagram's doing it.
IGTV's taking over though.
Is it?
And YouTube has cracked down on their on a lot of their stuff and their algorithms. You're not getting the traction you used to.
Not at all.
And then the cannabis movement.
Yeah. Because they have advertisers they're needing to cater to, and that's been a real issue.
Yes. And so but they also host things like, you know, and Google also is cracking down. So they've opened up new avenues of things like called the Weed Tube. And,
interesting. There's actually a website called the Weed Tube?
Yeah, I'm actually considering my own show on it. But now they're getting a bunch of heat that Google doesn't want to place them. And so there's other .coms and there's going to be
It's a tricky thing because we live in a very puritanical society, and I'm always coming up against that because I feel like if I'm a dad and I want to cuss and talk about cannabis, like they
don't care.
Advertisers won't care.
Nope.
It's like, oh yeah, you give them a show on some late night TV show and let's do it. If I'm a mom, oh no, not a mom, that's scary.
Yeah.
Then I become scary. It's like, no, that's a double standard.
And I think also, you know, it really gets down to our personal rights and how we were raised. Now, I was raised on a farm, and we had weed growing in almost like in the flower garden. It was never something that was taboo. I should say.
You're saying like
I was raised around it,
right?
Always.
Okay, so for you, it's just
my mom, literally
lifestyle.
Same, yeah. Right. And she would be like, "Are you sure you want an ibuprofen? Maybe if you just have a hit, you'll feel better."
Interesting.
So, my mom was a Cannamom.
Yeah, interesting.
And so I feel like that created a sense of trust in knowing, like, okay, well, we've done this, and so I had a little bit more power, I think, to move forward. It wasn't like I was, you know, just going in and doing something
like
bad.
Then there's me who comes from an incredibly puritanical background where it's like very religious.
Yeah.
Presbyterian and Baptist. Presbyterian was seen as liberal.
The Baptist side is also my grandparents.
Right. And so, I mean, my grandparents, when I was doing dance recitals as a young girl, they thought I was going to grow to be a slut.
Yeah, my mom wasn't allowed to dance.
Yeah, no dancing.
Same family.
Yeah, and so she must have rebelled and broken that for you.
She actually would go down to LA and get on the city bus and go to dance class behind her.
Love it.
Behind her parents' back.
Oh my God, bless her.
At 14. Yeah. And then she got a ticket for jaywalking and they caught her.
Oh my God.
Why were you in the city?
It was divine intervention. We caught her. I mean, I go to family reunions and people are like, "We're praying for you." I'm like, thank you, but I don't know why.
So for me, that's ridiculous because body and movement and music goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I love to dance.
Is not even 1 year old, and this one plays drums every day. She has like 5 different size drums, and she can beat and she dances, and there's a total
it's a connection to
indigenous
your
rhythm to having a beat and heartbeat, everything. It's part of our movement.
I believe you are so much happier to have that expression in your life. My daughter and I, we dance around the living room.
Every day
have
we dance
so
and
much
sing
fun
every day. That's really my only exercise.
So in the same meeting, I think these people thought I was insane because they're like, because I used to dance professionally, and they're like, "Do you miss dance?" I'm like, "I still dance," and they're like, "Really?" Like looking at me like this old woman, and I'm like, "I dance with my daughter every day." And they're just like, "Who are you? Like, where did you come from?" Like,
I'm the same. Yeah. I also am lazy as hell lately. Like I
do this all the time. I call moms out there, we call ourselves lazy. You can't have a baby that just started to walk and be lazy. Like that's impossible. Okay. We do this to ourselves. So like we're working really hard. We're tired.
I'm not good at going to the gym
because you're fucking tired.
And I'm fucking nursing, and I prefer to dance. Yeah, and nobody's watching, and I've had knee surgeries and back surgeries, and if all the doctors had it, I would be on OxyContin 24/7. So that's part of the reason with the cannabis. I have fibromyalgia, and I just can't do the squats anymore. But now the booty's flat, and so then I diet, and my belly's flat now, but then it hangs. And there's this C-section thing.
Can't fight gravity, girl.
And I'm like, well, I'm going to try. So dancing, I'm like, oh, look at me go. And she thinks it's the funniest.
Oh, for sure.
And then I'm like, oh, I remember this move.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I'm like,
love it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's same. I've been doing this, too. I'm like fighting it. Yeah. Like, why is my knee hurting? Oh, that may have been when we were dancing all over the living room yesterday.
I shouldn't drop it like it's hot.
Right. Or you should and just keep doing it every day and your knee will work it out.
Some of those moves were back from the slut days. And I'm like, I can still do it. Oh, no, you can't.
Oh my God, I love you so much. I was never able to do some of those moves because when I do them, I manage to make it funny. Like it's like, so clumsy.
I really tried to be like super saucy, sexy on the pole one time, and I'm not lying. I fell on my butt. Like
that would be me.
That was attractive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would never change it though because there's something so endearing about a funny woman versus like, honestly, taking yourself too seriously as like a sexy.
If you can crack up in bed, I think you have a good partner.
Oh,
if you are so 100%. Like you can't even go poop in front of them.
Right. Forget it. Yeah, it's not going to last.
It's not.
Yeah.
And either that or you have to get out of your own head.
Right.
Because most of the time, guys don't even care.
They really don't.
They want to smell that shit.
My husband is the exception. He is such a prude.
He's kind of OCD though, right?
he's very like clean. I don't even think he would admit that he poops. Like, like he's on that. But
that's lovely. So good for you.
He has his own bathroom, and it's like nothing's happening in here.
He's like, hey, will you go make me some breakfast? Get me some coffee?
You're like, oh, I've lost my appetite. No. But that's the thing. We're California girls. Like, he's from Pennsylvania. It is such a different life.
Yeah, old school.
Us from California, I don't think people really, I don't think popular culture has any idea what California girls are like.
It's funny because
we're crass.
This guy from Boston came into my wine tasting room one day, and he's like, you guys out here, you give everybody all this, attention for being in the movies and being on TV and doing all this shit, but none of you even know, what the fucking congressman's name is. And I looked at him like, you're absolutely right. I don't know what any of those people are who are arguing all the time on the other side of the country. I don't want to because all it is anger.
Right.
What's going to end up on the outside ends up on the outside, and I see it there.
Whatever you focus on.
But if I'm watching that, it's
fear-based.
It's all fear-based weird stuff. So then out here, it's like, oh yeah, you mean you went down and did stand-up? My friend Camilla Achilles did stand-up. And then you're like, oh, I know John Cleese.
Right.
And it is a different realm.
We're in our own bubble. Yeah. And it's a great bubble.
It is a great bubble.
Yeah, it is a great bubble.
My cousin, whose house we're at right now, he makes implants for teeth.
Oh, cool.
And he does all reconstructed teeth, and he even does fangs for the movies
Oh,
and
cool.
Hollywood stuff. And he's working on some silver fangs and stuff right now for the lead singer of Ministry. And he, he actually just introduced the lead singer of Ministry to the bass guitarist of Tool, and they merged and they have a band now.
Wow.
So
that is cool.
And that's through him,
Wow.
but that wouldn't happen if you're in Pennsylvania, So your man came to the right place, and the land of opportunity, and he found you, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, no, it's really...
I like to collect people.
It's a magical place. That. Yeah.
I am a Cannamom. I'm a cannabis consultant. I'm a graphic designer. But my thing is collecting people.
Right.
And I like to hear your story, and then I find all these little holes and ways that I have a friend who can help you with that.
She is. You are so supportive, Heather. Just the other day, you texted me. You're like, "Hey, check out what was the tag thing you said?"
Tag-o-matic.
Tag-o-matic, and instantly, I'm like, "Thank you." Like, I mean, everyone needs those people looking out for them, and then I used Tag-o-matic and started because I don't have the time to figure all that out as a mom, and that's what I think is so. I was just talking to another comedian in Los Angeles about a female comedian. Women are really, for the first time in the comedy scene in Los Angeles, they're writing their own history. Yeah. It is so cool because the industry really traditionally and even still is not friendly to women.
Right.
And it's not friendly to anyone. Men have a hard time too.
I think also, there's a real big comedy scene in Las Vegas. And every major comedian goes on tour. And does. Every week you see a new billboard.
Sure. That's where people get entertained, so that everyone comes through.
But if you go to all the little tiny comedy clubs and all the locals, it's dominated by men. 9 out of 10.
For
it's
sure.
usually a man on stage. And I think part of that too is, yes, we are moms, and then we get in our heads.
Women tend to be very critical
I analyze
of themselves.
Everything, or else I'll be like, after she leaves, I'll probably go back through my head and do this entire conversation and be like, I should have
tear it apart.
Should have said that, or I didn't do that right, and then I'll actually watch it, and it'll be nothing about the reel that was in my head.
Right. Or like me, I'll watch it and edit it and realize how annoyed I am with my own behavior and recommit to acting different the next time. Right. Wonder why I'm doing this. What am I doing? Who's watching? Yeah, it goes on and on, where I don't think men have that critical voice.
I don't either.
That critical voice.
But I don't think it's as self-destructive.
They do, but we have it because for our children, it's their survival. Yeah. That critical voice keeps our kids, and it's a survival thing. Yeah. Where really, this video, we don't need to survive it.
Right. And I think
we can't turn it off.
It touches on a really good point with my partner too. Sometimes I find myself being overcritical of him, or or pointing and saying, "Hey, well, get that."
And that's where the nagging comes from.
But it really is trying to control her.
Yes.
And then his stuff is affecting her stuff, so then I end up trying to control him somehow.
Right.
But there is definitely.
For sure. Yeah, it's hard. That's why women don't leave their kids with the man, because they're like, oh my God, will they survive him? He's so checked out.
He offered to have her for the next 2 days while I was here in California.
Right.
She's 10 months in nursing.
Yeah, you're like, you're not in reality about that.
Do you never want her to nurse again?
Right. Or do you know how to do a bottle schedule? Like, are you on top of it?
He's actually.
Is he good?
He's so
good. I would leave her then, because guess what? I left my son. Well, she's only 10 months. I left him when he was a year. Yeah. So let's be real. It wasn't 10 months. It was a year. And I was afraid that would be the end of breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And the first night, I was really I was pumping in the bathroom. I was sad. By night 2, I was like, I have to go back. You know? But he just went back on.
That's good
and it came back out.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Because I got sick and I couldn't for a few days. Yeah. I was just like, no. But I was fine after that. Mm-hmm. But at the time I was sick, nothing was happening anyway.
Yeah. And you were probably nervous about it. So. Oh my gosh. I love Hazel so much. She is such a doll. Coral. Why do I keep... Oh my God.
It's a color. I don't know. The H. It's
I'm sorry.
Call your daughter Roslyn. instead of Raleigh.
All right,
Roz, so we're good.
All right, we're on the same. Yeah.
And then when you said Declan, and then I'm talking about Declan, I had a brain fart. I'm like, wait, is that my cousin's name? Is that your name?
Yeah. The house we're in is her cousin, and they have a Declan, and I have a Declan. So there's a lot of synergy happening.
So funny.
Yeah,
so funny.
These angels.
I have Noah, Daisy, Kate, and Coral, and all three were canna babies, and basically that just means I did consume.
Yeah.
But not
Yeah, I think what's so important is quantity. And it's the same with alcohol, right?
Women in France have a glass of Chardonnay at lunch. Or,
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But obviously, if you go to the bottle and it's an issue for you, then no, don't drink. You know, it's like we're not advocating being a neglectful parent.
Not at all. But I would much prefer to have one hit if it means that I'm going to be patient and out of pain and able to be hands-on with her.
Right.
Then to be, suffering and ignoring her because I'm hurting so bad or unable to, for me, that's my
No,
own
it's
coping.
true. A lot of people turn to it as an alternative to traditional, drugs that are really horrible. Yeah. What?
I just keep hitting it.
Oh, it's okay. Sorry, I don't mean to make you...
They're going to be watching this going...
No, I just hope we'll just send a lot of love to the technology gods right now because, we really don't have a sound guy to sit there and be like, hey, I'm getting feedback. Let's do that again. This is just what it is. And here we are. Well, two moms just doing the mommy hustle.
I love it. Yeah. And that's what it takes, too.
Yeah.
It takes a village.
It really does.
When I say, be grateful to the steps and the exes and the in-laws and everybody because... each person in your child's life is giving them a different perspective. And they have a different perspective of those people than you do.
Oh, for sure.
And those people have a different perspective of your children than they do of you. And so by stepping back and allowing them to cultivate these relationships, and I just respect everyone, and I get disrespected sometimes, and I definitely feel that, for sure. But by not being reactive or responsive or making it anything, it puts me at a higher plane.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I love that you brought up gratitude. We were talking about it before we were recording, and I'm getting chills right now. I just believe, I remember when Raleigh a year ago was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, it was really scary and horrible, and I just intuitively knew, focus on the gratitude. She is alive.
Yeah.
We are right next door to the hospital. We have great doctors, and it's just amazing what that can do.
The shift of mindset. So when I got divorced in 2012, I had been married for almost 8 years, 2 young children, 4 and 6. He left me with no money, no job, and didn't pay the bills, so I lost my apartment. I literally went homeless. And I sat there for about a week, just miserable and
which is reality.
But also self-consumed. And in my head and in myself and all about this happened to me and this happened to me and this happened to me. And I went back to my dad's house in Las Vegas, and that Monday I called a friend, and that Monday I went and I cooked a pot of spaghetti with my friends, and we took it and fed the homeless. And it was such a transformation of my perspective. Even though I had also been homeless, it was by serving and also seeing the need. I was immediately put into a place of gratitude of, holy crap, I don't have that, and that. I don't have those issues. Mine is controllable if I dig deep and put the steps out there. And the only way to keep the panic and the pain and the sorrow was staying positive and grateful. And so if I started to lose it, which happened a lot, especially in the beginning.
And it's going to. You're going to be a human being. You're going to feel feelings.
Yeah, you just have to stay in your space and say, okay, what am I grateful for right now? Well, I'm grateful for my baby taking a nap. I'm grateful for Cocoa Taps because these things are really good. I'm grateful for espresso and having
in a Magic Castle mug.
And your brain starts just changing.
You shift everything in the universe aligns with that. They're like, oh, she's aware of all that she has. Let's give her more.
Let's give her more.
And people think I'm crazy, but just give it a try.
It's true. And also, I've just recently started a manifestation journal. One of my besties, Ashley, gave it to me 2012, probably when I got divorced.
And you're finally getting around to opening it.
And I actually did it because I watched a podcast with Rachel Hollis, and she was like, if you write down what you're grateful for in the future, as if you own it now, it will happen. And she's like, a year and a half ago, I started saying, I have $1 million in my bank. I'm an exceptional wife. And she does these mantras every day and starts her day off. But the subconscious continues to work on that. And the subconscious talks to the universe. And if you are living a grateful life and you're giving, and I really believe in paying it forward, and you're helping other people, and if that's your purpose is to help and, you know, make other people better and happy, then it's going to come back to you. Right. And it will reward you. And it will make more sense. We're creative beings.
We're creative beings. And so if we, like you were talking about the news and knowing who your congressman is and being stuck in that cycle, you're going to create fear, lack, war, whatever it is you're focused on. But if you're focused on being grateful for what you have, and that more of that will manifest.
How can I help more people? And how can I teach them more things? And that I feel like that's the way to bring up and help others. And so my son is ADHD and autistic in the autistic spectrum. He's Asperger's. He's extremely creative. He's had, a monster in his life, his whole life. He has extreme food allergies. You know, he's got all sorts of stuff. So I didn't know what I was doing. I was 25 years old when I got pregnant with him. I ate McDonald's and I went surfing every day. And like, when you're given these challenges, you either are stuck with the challenge or you come up with answers. And so that's what I just started doing research. And in that I found out, oh my gosh, this chemical is in wheat and this GMO. And then I started changing my own diet and just shifting my own lifestyle. And I dropped 50 pounds in 4 months. And I had hung on to that weight for 7 years after my children were born. But it was just from learning on how to, how can a diet change my son?
Body? Yeah.
If he has ADHD, maybe if I change the kind of fuel I'm putting into his automobile,
and how
maybe he's going to react
receptive
different.
Was he to eating new foods? Was that challenging? Because my kids eat horribly, and I'm just now trying to focus on nutrition, and they're really resisting.
I've always I've used food in a positive light. I've never had negative reactions at the table. I don't allow conversation to be about control of food. If they want it, they're hungry, they're going to eat it. If they don't, then you don't get it, but that's what I'm offering you. But I also, my goal is to offer a rainbow. And so they get a rainbow of foods within a day, as in the color spectrum. And so if they're not interested in something, there will be something they'll be interested in.
Right.
But with my 14 and 12-year-old now, I can honestly say the only things that were ever weird for my son were textural. Like he might get weirded out with a pudding or something real squishy or Jello. But he was allergic to peanuts, or he is, and nuts. So I was very controlled, and that's when I started reading ingredients and then being like, what's this?
Right.
I never read packages before I had to. And then I realized, like, I had been living with chemical sensitivities and allergies that I didn't even know. It just caused inflammation. So there's been a lot of healing and positive changes.
And you know
since
what?
becoming a mom.
It was your kids that motivated. It's amazing how we can be grateful for our kids, because even though we're working so hard and we feel like maybe we're taken out of the life game, I know I feel that way, they motivate us to make those improvements that we would have never made if I never, like, you hadn't had the allergy.
Yeah, and she has this one. She's allergic to
this little
soy,
pumpkin,
milk, eggs, and cats so far, and wheat. So I can't just like grab a piece of bread and cheese and give it to my baby at all. She's a vegan, plant vegan. So it's challenging.
Sweetie pie. I want to talk about Hot Dish Heather. Like, how did that come about?
Sure. So Hot Dish Heather is this little like cannabis blog I started in 2015 with the goal of writing a recipe book, Red-Eyed Recipes.
I love her posts, by the way.
You've really
been, I mean, here you are with a baby and you're still like keeping it up.
Oh, that's my nursing coping.
Right?
I have ADD, so I cannot just sit here.
I'm same. And I think that's what's so great about the technology now for moms. Like, my husband will curse technology. I'm like, no, F that.
No, but even when Noah was a baby, he's 14 now. We didn't have social media. I mean, we had AOL, but one breast got way bigger because I was holding and typing. But I was still on the computer and I sat there.
But that's the thing is women in the past were isolated. Now we have this window. I think moms are becoming a part of the conversation because we can participate from the home.
And I feel like every single person has an opportunity now. You go to your 8 to 5, you make your 8 to 5. But now you have an obligation. You get home at 5 o'clock. You still have 5 to 1 a.m. that you can dominate the world and literally sell everything and make way more money than your 8 to 5. And so if you utilize that time for the first 5 to 6 years, you'll set something up to where you get rid of your day job. And we are exhausted.
Right.
But if you do put the time in and find it, it'll come back. It'll work, you know, and it'll start to gain
There's
traction.
An opportunity. It's crazy.
It is amazing.
You're doing a job, your motherhood, But if that's your ambition, the opportunity is there where it was not before.
So, and I also was never going to have more children. So my goal with Hot Dish Heather, I actually was hired with this group called TMI, and we were like a charity group of moms in Las Vegas making changes to the educational plan and the educational system. And we really just wanted to make a safer, better environment for schooling and our kids in Las Vegas and what that looked like. So we had different moms from all walks of life and different races and nationalities. And in doing so, we were also recording and doing like a reality type show. Well, everyone was already involved in their own little stuff. And I had just been posting for fun. And I'm like, I love cooking. And I had just figured out that gluten-free and dairy-free worked better for my body. So I said, let's just do a cooking vlog. And I'm also working for my partner, and he's, I do all their graphic design.
I did not realize that.
I do a lot of labeling and in the cannabis industry as well.
Right.
So I am very busy. I mean, and then my daughter just started her own company. She's
that's
12.
right. I saw that. Tell us about that.
We have some property and we grow a bunch of different herbs and stuff, but we have about 18 or 19 palm trees growing. And one of them is a fan palm, California fan palm, which is essentially just leaves at the beach.
Yeah.
A few years ago, James, my fiance, said, hey, Daisy, why don't we start a company and you could, grow palm trees. You can get a lot of money for palm trees. And she was like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And he's like, just go out there and get those seeds and save them. So she collected seeds. Well, then the following year, we planted the seeds. And this is the third year. And now she has seed packets, her own logo. And I helped her design some stickers. And she has potted plants. And you can buy them at different stages.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That is
We're
so
just going to
cool.
have like a plant sale, sort of like a garage sale.
Yeah.
And then friends of mine will call and say, I want a pack of seeds. And she sells the packs for $8.
That's so great.
Her funny, cute thing is that she's saving money so that she can go sponsor one of the exotic animals at the training zoo at Moore Park College.
Oh, cool. Good for her. Does she have a favorite animal?
She goes there whenever we can.
Yeah.
And there's an ocelot she really likes, and the hyena and the tiger.
Oh, so she likes cats.
Yeah.
My daughter loves cats too.
But she just wants to use the money to give back, and so I thought it was a really great teaching tool for her.
For sure, or just the experience of having a business.
Yeah.
I think
Daisy
that's so
Cake
great.
Creation.
That is
awesome,
cute,
isn't it?
It is. It's adorable. Yeah. I mean, those are life skills. I mean, here I am, the middle of my life.
Well,
and it's like I'm so creative. I can produce content up the wazoo, but turning something in to a business is a whole different skill set, clearly, and marketing it. And
I've taken a lot of classes and gone through a lot of stuff.
Good for you.
Social media.
Yeah. Well,
I
want you to rub off on me because you're savvy.
Oh, I love
and
that.
you can't, I can't pretend to be savvy. You're either savvy or you're kind of just an awkward, jokey person, which is great for my stand-up, but being in a room with people, selling your business, selling your thing, and having confidence, and you're one of those people.
Raised by entrepreneurs.
Well, you've got that skill set. You could have been, even with the same parents, a different personality, but you've got that.
That's true.
So.
I was thrown in the mix. I was working trade shows by 8 years old.
There you have it.
I was putting labels on products at 4 years old. I was spraying glue which is really good for you, in a closed garage in Montecito.
You're like, the ADHD is making sense.
No, and
right
they put, we had these paper labels because they didn't even have like sticky backing back then. And you had to spray the adhesive and then roll the jar.
Wow.
I have funny memories, man.
Wow.
And sitting in the back of these, like...
So child labor.
Delivery
which you can do with your own children,
back in the day.
Yeah. Well, can't you? Is it... I feel like that's the whole thing, right? I your children become your workforce, right?
Yes, you can. Yeah. I think there's certain...
Yeah, there's laws, but I feel like how much work you can get your child to do for the family business is different than a stranger's child or whatever.
For sure. Yeah. And I was traveling the country doing trade shows.
Wow.
For probably 5-6 months out of the year until I was like 25 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
So and that's the thing is those kind of, as much as that's crazy, it taught you a skill.
Absolutely.
You know, and,
absolutely.
And people don't realize it takes a lifetime sometimes to learn these skills.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was on TV shows at a young age. You know, the things like Julia Child and like Wolfgang Puck and those kind of
and it's
shows.
So crazy because I've known you since high school at least.
I think your mom even taught me an art class.
Probably. We're from a very small town, so you kind of know everybody.
And yoga.
Yeah, and here I am learning things about you for the first time. That's what's so crazy in a small town. I think you take for granted, I know so-and-so, I know all about them, but you really don't. Mm-hmm. You know, you haven't really had a conversation because you're not curious about someone you think you know. Totally. And it's so cool to learn all of this, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I remember, you were always savvy. I always thought you were so cool. And you always wore like the coolest hair and you were daring in your outfits and all the guys thought you were gorgeous. So don't play like you're shy.
Okay, I'm not shy. I've never been shy. Awkward, yes. Crazy, yes. But no, of course, fashion. I love fashion. Yeah. That was always a passion of mine. Like
I remember,
I never knew why people were so. We come from this conservative little town,
and her and I would be the only ones to like wear our hair a little bit different, and people would be like,
"Oh, yeah." There were a few of us. Like there were a few girls that would like be daring and, you know, go in like an all lace shirt with no bra one day, or like get in trouble and sent home, or like we were all.
I was always getting in trouble
like people like Madonna, like these were our fashion icons.
I know.
And now it would be Lady Gaga. Like I admire her so much. I adore her. And people that don't get it, it's like because she's testing everything and like.
My friend just the other day said, she's cray-cray. I'm like, don't say that word. It's a trigger word. I don't like the word crazy. Yeah. She's amazing. She's like, calm down, Heather.
Well, but it's true, though. I mean, it's like if people, like I've had ex-boyfriends say, when we're in the heat of an argument.
That's the worst.
Say, everybody says you're crazy.
Oh, my God.
It really hits.
Did you hear the crickets?
What? No, I defied him in that moment and continued to yell and be crazy. It wasn't going to stop me. However, it went to my core. Because even today, again, obviously I'm obsessed. I've been going over in my head about this meeting I had. They even said at one, because they were like, so it was a meeting with a couple agents at a big agency. I probably knew I was a little bit out of my league. I don't have a lot of commercial credits. I have 2, but it's something. And I've taken time off for kids, so I'm like trying to get back out there in the commercial world. And they're like, that's so crazy. You do stand-up. Doesn't it make you nervous? That's the scariest thing. And I told them, I said, it's scarier to be here in this meeting right now with you. And I was being really honest, and they were like, what? Us? No. And I'm like, I had to, listen to Robin in the car and like visualize unicorns walking in with me. And he's like, oh my God, are you crazy? And doing that. And I'm proud of myself because I stayed in the meeting and I said, see, now you're my hecklers.
Yeah.
See, and they stopped.
Yeah.
And it's just really interesting because all week I keep going back to him calling me crazy. Right. And it's like I want to go back in that moment and be like, you're dead without your creativity.
Of course.
And I'm not literally thinking there's unicorns next to me. But that is my creative mind. That is my skill.
And even if you actor.
Yes, that's what
being
makes
imaginative.
me. And they said, you seem so at ease, we wouldn't even be able to tell. I'm like, that's because I did the work.
Okay, but
that's
also,
the work. You know?
They're not taking into credit because they probably aren't performers. They're
No,
judging, right?
yeah,
so
that's
as a
their
performer
mind.
and a
Yes.
dancer,
Yeah.
if you had me stand up right now and do a dance for 3 of you, good friends, family, I would be pooping in my pants.
Exactly.
But if you had me in front of 2,000 people on a stage, it's like a
You'd
different
be in your joy.
zone.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I know these moves. I practiced this. I got this.
Yes.
But there's a difference in the way you act and perceive when you know that you're being judged by someone that you are
whose approval you want. Yeah. It's
very
absolutely different. Yeah, and so many performers understand that. Like, if I have...
Like, karaoke versus singing on stage. If you're in a band
For
with a bunch of people,
yeah.
but then you have to stand all by yourself and do karaoke. It's weird. You
Yeah.
can't do it. Not that I can.
Right, but it's a different thing.
Yeah.
And, or for example, if you have a show and the night that your friends come to watch is the worst night because you can hear
lost
them.
my lines in Annie, Little Orphan Annie.
Yeah.
Because I looked right and the front row was like all my family and I stopped and I'm like,
oh my God. Yeah, but something about a room full of strangers, I feel completely liberated. Yeah.
That's just because we're
sluts. That's what it is, though. It's what? Because we're what?
We're sluts.
That's just because I thought you said we're nuts. That's just because we're crazy. Okay.
We are that too. I'm just kidding.
I mean, sure, you have to be a little bit crazy to keep doing what you're passionate about. Of course.
I've been called crazy so many times, and I just go with it because all the best are.
Well, and also, that's what I said to them. I'm like, isn't that what you want? I was like, isn't that what you're looking for? I'm confused. Do you want normal?
How many sane actors are there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, how sane is it? Crazy. Right? Because what an impossible thing, you know?
But that's a horrible word.
Right.
Because that's what everybody tells you. It's impossible, and you know firsthand it's not.
Right. Well, and that's what recently happened. I booked a commercial with my son, and I said, wait a minute. This is how you make money in this industry is commercials, so I need more of that, you know? So, yeah. But this is really about a conversation. I'm hoping to find moms that they're hungry for this conversation. Like, it's not that we're not good moms, it's just we're giving ourselves permission to be bad moms, and say F you to all these puritanical values that are keeping us in this place of shame, in this place of fear.
Because you can do it all.
Yeah.
You can.
Right.
You can do it.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be patient because it's going to take more time.
You have to be good at also delegating.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
You can't always take everything on yourself, even if you're really just trying to do that thing the best way because you know you do it way better than him.
Yeah, the toilet seat needs to be dirty sometimes. Like, I get so on top of myself as a stay-at-home mom that these are all the things.
Hate laundry.
Oh God, yeah, and it's like,
is that a thing I can just start outsourcing?
Right?
Because I outsourced it in college when I had no kids and no husband and nothing, and I couldn't even do my laundry. And now I got 5 people to clean for. It's not any easy.
Isn't that interesting that when we're independent, we give ourselves permission to spend the money to delegate?
Yes.
Where when
I would literally drop it off and spend $200 having it folded and given to me, and then I brought it home. It wouldn't even go in the drawers. But you also have to, carry those.
Do you have any advice for moms? Because I'm one of those people. Sorry, I'm like your wardrobe assistant here. No, it's the micro. It's not you.
It's a huge shirt too. I've lost a lot of weight.
Here, I want to wait just a minute. Can we put her? How are we doing on time? I think we have to wrap it up soon because I'll have too much video to edit. But I'm going to pass Hazel off. Or Hazel. Why do I keep doing it? You know why? Because Amber's little girl is Hazel.
Oh, is it?
And Coral and Hazel. Cute. It's so adorable. But Coral, because of course you're a beach baby. And she has a mountain baby. Okay. So one of our good friends, Amber, her daughter is Hazel. And
I'm going to see Kate Sneffick soon.
Yeah, I'm associating, so sorry. That's my dyslexia.
I said her last name. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, it's okay.
No, Kate is going to come out to Vegas.
Oh, fun. When is that happening? Because she's got...
next
Oh, my gosh.
in a few weeks.
I love it.
I know. You should come.
Yeah, I might. That sounds really tempting.
Yeah.
Because I want to get out there.
Yes, it'll be fun.
Okay, so delegating. I want to just really quick because I feel like so many of us need support. I need support in this.
So,
advice.
As far as having a side hustle.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a side hustle, say you have an MLM, or you want to sell your art, or you want to, publish a podcast, and you also have children and a husband and your household, whatever that may look like. If you're prioritizing your time, you really have to look at what's going to work and what's not, and what your time is worth. And so if you're able to put an hour in or 2 hours into a side hustle that's going to bring in a couple $100, well, that 2 hours means that you're worth a couple $100 an hour. And are you going to pay someone a couple $100 an hour to clean your toilet? That's the mentality we have to have. So it really just matters on what you're expecting out of life, and how much money you're interested in. But you're not going to make a lot of money scrubbing your own toilets.
None.
So
Zero.
That's where we have a difficulty and shift, because a lot of times, I'm speaking for myself here, but I know I'm speaking for many of you, our financial situation is based off of also what our spouse is bringing in.
And us feeling a responsibility to save money because we're not properly,
and we're not going on vacations, and we're not driving the car we want, and we're not, and as you level up, you double up. Every time you get to the next level, there's more bills. And so if you continue to grow and level up, your bills just get higher. God forbid something happens and your bills are up here and you don't have your job anymore and you haven't saved anything.
Wasn't that the big fear, right? Of living big.
So we're trying to save $10 a day. You don't want to spend $150 a week.
It's so hard as stay-at-home moms to justify.
You really have to see, what your time is worth and what your goals are and where you are in your lifespan with your child. And if you have a kid who's under the age of 2, just shut the fuck up and pay for do stuff with your kids. Don't worry about trying to be all huge and crazy and write a book.
There will be a time when they're more independent,
and you will be more the wiser.
Yeah,
but that's where
it is scary, because my kids now are 7. They're going to be 7 and 4 this summer, and I'm facing going back in to life. Yeah. They still need me, obviously, but jumping back in, and in my mind, I said I was going to take 2 years off. In reality, it's been almost a decade. And to come back and really face those fears of being older, and
I just keep saying it's wisdom.
Yeah, and I'm alive. And I'm able. So why let that stop me?
Exactly.
And it will mess with you.
It will.
So just hang in there.
And so, if there was advice, it's also making sure that your partner's very supportive. Like for example, her kids right now are with her husband. She wouldn't be able to do this right now.
Absolutely.
And there's no way we could watch 3 kids and run around, right? So she has a supportive husband who's also really interested in her and making sure that do well.
Yeah.
And so is mine.
Yeah.
And so, as soon as he walks in the door, he takes her. He brings, and he bathes her, he feeds her. Yeah. It's like his time with the baby, and it's my time for mom time.
Right.
If I'm with her during the day and I'm able to scrub and clean the toilet, I will.
Right.
But that's not my priority. She's my priority right now. So there's a fine balance. And the part of letting go is also, now there's so many apps. There's even an Uber app for housekeeping that a lot of moms in your neighborhood need part-time jobs. So there's a way now that communities are opening up and communicating.
Yeah.
There's even an app called Rover where you can get people to walk your dog. Your dog needs to get walked, but maybe you need to make that $200 or that $400.
Well, and here's what's really tricky. I'm in a creative career.
And so you don't even know
what kind of money. So I can't even quantify. Right. Like, I may make $0, but if that's my professional goal, then I have to then really sit down and say what is really important to me. Yeah. Having this home that looks a certain way when I have a play date, or making that video.
And honestly, because I've been really interested in people's stories and what are they doing? How are you doing it? 9 times out of 10. Oops, sorry.
No, that's fine.
9 times out of 10, moms are getting up early. Earlier than their kids.
Staying up later.
I just can't. So the stay up late thing, I can't because I nurse. And I'm exhausted. And I'm weird. If you put my feet up, I'm out. I fall asleep so quick.
Amazing. I love it.
So, I will fall asleep in the car.
Yeah, that's a talent.
Yeah. Well, it's also exhaustion.
I hear you.
it's a health risk, to
right?
be honest. But
it might be child neglect,
but
it's
I wake up in the morning and it's hard because she wants to nurse again. I'm in that phase still right now, but I feel like a lot of creative things can happen when you allow it and just give yourself the space and time. So maybe that's not getting the toilets done, but it's hard.
Well, and that's the thing is everyone has their own path, and a lot of it is having faith that it will. Those are the intentions, right? Because it feels impossible. If you try to figure it out with your head, you never will. You're dead in the water, right? Yeah. So if you turn that intellectual part of you off and you go more from the heart, I think you'll find your path.
Yeah, and also it's a hard path. If you know your why, like what's my purpose? Why do I want to do this? Or is it because of my baby, or is it because I want to make a change in the world, or is it because I'm trying to get somebody to do something? Like you find your purpose, your why, and from what I've heard, people say your why should make you cry.
Wow, I gotta work on my why, guys.
So then you'll know, why. Ladies, what's making you want to get up and be creative? Yeah, is it because you want to show, Raleigh, that you can be a successful mom and work in the industry and be a successable wife as well? Or maybe it's because you want to raise enough money or awareness around her type 1 diabetes or whatever, but.
Find your why.
But if you have a purpose and a why of whatever it is that your little creative project is, it's going to give you the ability to go up against those no's. And when you hear the no and you hear it in your head over and over, more. Because your why means more to you.
You'll have a purpose. Yeah, you'll have a focus, a path. Yeah. We have to end it just because my phone will explode.
And I'm a rambly.
No, I want to do this again. Awesome, anytime I will drive to you. Like if you're in California, I'm there because this is why I'm doing this. Cool. Like amazing moms like you that are just a beacon for all of us. And I think especially in America, especially right now when women are really facing some real challenges.
And Nevada,
being kept down.
Is going against everybody else's abortion stuff right now.
It's wild what's happening.
State, I mean, they're also
looking
forcing
to
vaccines. They're in Nevada.
Moved to Nevada. We were thinking of moving to Atlanta, and now with what's happening, it's like Georgia's totally out for us because we have a daughter, and we don't want her subjugated by these crazy politicians that don't get women and backed by women.
Well, now that my friend is on the board, and Nevada is changing, and we are having a lot of resources, and it's really amazing how the community is coming together. And people look at Vegas like, "Ooh, you must be a bad mom." I'm like, "Yes, we are."
Bad Mom's headquarters. Yep. And thank you to Janet who opened up her amazing beachside home to do this.
My cousins are so amazing. Show them really quick before.
I'm going to. I'm gonna all of it. Yeah, for sure. Cool. And I want to. She mentioned some other mom groups and podcasts. So I'll maybe ask her again and write them down and put links because
I'm in a couple of cool groups. One is called Crunchy Moms.
Like it.
Yeah, and it's basically just. Learning how to raise your children with plant medicine and the most, the smallest footprint, just like the healthiest way possible. And then all these moms come together and be like, I tried that and there was a rash, or I did this. And then you learn from all these other moms, and you're not just having to call a doctor who immediately is going to give you, pills and antibiotics and whatever. So check out Crunchy Moms too.
I will. Awesome.
But
Thank you.
Heather. Yay! Follow me.
So to be continued. Thank you so much, Heather.